guys, it is day 113 hiking northbound on the Continental Divide Trail, and it's been a little bit, but there will be a gap in footage. As I mentioned in the last video, day 105 I believe, I had to put Buddy down last week. My mom and I did, and it was really sad and really hard, because just like a hard call to make. Not to open up this video with a downer, but I just need to get straight to the point. So I just didn't really know how to go about like filming that. Like, I always want to be like real and authentic, but my headspace was already, you know, not in a great place, from just being kind of like sad, overwhelmed, like tired of hiking this trail. You know, I just didn't want to like add another layer of that. And I also just needed some personal time to grieve that loss of him. And maybe some people on here are not cat people, and so they don't really get it, but it's, yeah, he was a very special cat and held a very special place in my life and my heart, and he turned people who aren't cat people into cat people. He's one of those animals, you know? So anyway, it was very peaceful for him, and it was quick, and the vet was really professional, and, you know, I'm getting him cremated, and he'll have like a little vessel and everything, so with his photo on it. But it was really rough for me for a couple days, emotionally. So I just needed to take a break, and I just wanted to take a break from filming too, to just, I don't know, get my mojo back a little bit, and maybe get excited again about finishing this trail. I don't know. These last few sections have been pretty rough in terms of like pine trees on pine trees on pine trees, and a lot of up and down, which I've mentioned, which, yes, I get it, I'm in the mountains, but this is the kind of up and down that's literally just like this. There is no like, oh, we go up for a while, then we're going flat, then we're going down, then it's flat, and then it's up again, then it's flat. Like, there was just like no flat. There was no chill the last few sections. And yeah, my hip has started to bother me again. My right leg likes to go up into the hip socket, and it just really starts to hurt, and the only way to fix it is to have a chiropractor pull it back out of the hip socket, and it causes a lot of low back pain on my right side. So I now have to walk, you know, 200 plus miles with this issue that, I mean, I've been having it for a while, so it'd like probably end up being like 400 miles by the time I'm done. But anyway, those are things that I was dealing with, and still some of them I am. So I'm sorry that there's a little gap in footage, but to be honest, like, you guys really didn't miss much. There were some spots with views, but kind of like I showed you in the last video, it's just hazy skies and pine tree forests that you're overlooking. Helena was a nice stop, regardless of what, you know, the sadness that came along with that. Like, I was able to get a hitch with several other hikers. The hitch was a little bit sketchy, but we made it safely, and I had really good food while I was in Helena, and good coffee, and was able to get my family some gifts. And then I headed out to do a, 4-day stretch, and that last stretch between Helena and Augusta was not great for me, both mentally or physically. So I'm also glad that I wasn't filming for that, because it just wouldn't have made for great content, and it wouldn't have been very inspiring. And that's one of the reasons I'm doing these vlogs, is to inspire people to get outside, and not necessarily to do the CDT, but to know that, like, you can start doing things without having to be like a professional or to have years and years of experience. But yeah, point is, they weren't very inspiring or uplifting or positive. And I was having a lot of hip pain, so I ended up coming down a road. So there was 2 passes, Fleischer Pass and Rogers Pass, and Rogers Pass is where most people go into either Augusta or Lincoln, Montana. And it was 14 miles of ridge walking, and I was like, I don't have it in me today. I don't. So I didn't. And I went down a 5-mile road that was really lovely, and I came down to like 5,000 feet, and there were aspens, and everything was like orange and red and brown. And I was like, when did it become fall? Like, this is crazy. Like, I've just been in pine trees, you know, which are evergreen. So it's like, it was wild coming down. And then I got 3 hitches to get to Augusta, because it was pretty far from where I came off trail, about 50 miles. But they were all really lovely hitches, and nice people. And it's been the last couple of days in Augusta. I wasn't planning to take a 0 there, but my shoes didn't get in until mid-morning yesterday. And the nice man who gives people rides up to this remote trailhead, he leaves out every day at 8, so I kind of missed the mark there. But that's okay. It gave me a day to rest and take a nap and eat good food. And yeah, I have a little change of outfit, so these are now a little dirty, but I got my last pair of topos. I think I've gone through 5 pair of shoes. My plantar fasciitis was starting to really bother me again, so I went ahead and just got these. And literally I got these from REI Outlet because they were having their member sale, so they were already discounted. And they don't even have a new Topo Pursuit 2. They just have new colors. So these got put in REI Outlet, and then so they already discounted, and then I got 20% off of one REI Outlet. So I got these for like $85, and they're usually like $150. So that's good. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get a new shirt. I've been wearing that shirt for about 3 months now, and it was disgusting. And it was starting to be one of those smells where like the smell is just in the fibers, and like even after I wash it, it just, not that it stunk, but it just didn't smell fresh, you know? And like it would easily, because these are all synthetic fibers in these shirts, it would easily stink within like 30 minutes of walking. So got me a little new shirt to match. Yay. Kind of uplift my mood a little bit. So that's kind of a summary of where I've been and what's been going on. Where we are today is in the Bob Marshall Wilderness. We made it. Just for transparency, I am skipping 50 miles of trail from Rogers, or I guess from Fleischer's Pass really, to wherever you get back on after Rogers Pass. And then it's 51 miles to Benchmark Trailhead, which is where we just got dropped off. So that 51 miles I'm skipping. And I have no qualms about it, because as fun and adventurous as this trail has been, I'm ready for this chapter to come to a close. It's been long. It's been all the things, as you guys know. You've been here. But yeah, I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to see my family. I'm ready to do all the fall things that I do with my family. And yeah, I'm ready to start exploring whatever it is I'm going to be doing next. And yeah, so I'm starting here from Benchmark Trailhead in the Bob Marshall. I am hoping, well, I'm not hoping, I will get to East Glacier by Monday, late Monday. That's about 5.5 days. It's 120-ish miles. So I went ahead and booked all the rest of my travel. So I booked a hostel in East Glacier. I booked a lodge in Canada, in Waterton. And I booked my flight home from Boise. My sister's going to come pick me up, and I'm going to go back with her to where she lives and fly out later this month. So about 2 weeks tomorrow, I will be flying home. So I'm hoping that with these markers set and with the money spent, that it gives me the motivation to do the kind of miles that, you know, are going to be required to finish this trail in 2 weeks. So we have about 250-ish miles to get to Canada. So totally doable. But I think I'm going to stop before a big climb later today. And I don't think you can even camp after that climb. So there wouldn't be any point in doing it today anyway. So today's going to be one of the shorter days, and then hopefully in the next couple days I can do a couple of 25s, and that way my mileage the other days can be lower. So yes, sorry for my absence. I'm back. I'm here. We're going to finish this trail together. We're going to do it. We've been in it since the beginning. So yeah, it's been a wild ride. So let's get started. Dang. Like, I'm a size 10.5 for reference. That's crazy. It was cold this morning, but now it's pretty warm. Ooh, wait. It's really pretty though. I'm super glad for some scenery change, for sure. I am about 12 miles in for the day, and so far so good. The walking's been really nice. Not really any elevation gain. I'm not even at 1,000 feet yet, and I'm 12 miles in. So usually I've done like 2,000 by mile 10. So at least the last few weeks. Yeah, I just stopped at this big kind of horse camp area, and the only thing that's really bothering me today is like my hip, like I said. So I'm gonna spend a few minutes here stretching now that I've finished my lunch dinner. I don't really feel that hungry, so I don't even know if I'm gonna cook tonight or anything. I am only gonna go about 6 more miles, 5.6 miles. And I've just been listening to my music and podcasts just to keep some noise in front of me, because I have literally just been following bear tracks this whole time on the trail, and they're big bear tracks. So yeah, just being bear aware. The new shoes feel great, although my feet are disgusting. They're like black because of all the loose dirt and sand and stuff. I sat down and there was a cloud, and that cloud quickly went away, and now there's a bunch of clouds around the sun but not like covering it, so it's pretty hot over here. And that was a mistake. So yeah, overall a good day. I've seen a lot of hikers, so it kind of makes me feel better that there's other people around me and, you know, making noise here and there. They'll probably go further than me tonight, I imagine. Most people out here are trying to finish, you know, within the next 10 days or so, and I'm taking a little bit more time. Not a ton, but who knows? I didn't really stop to talk because I wanted to get to I wanted to stop at the 10-mile mark, but of course when I got to the 10-mile mark, it was completely exposed burn area. So I saw this was at mile 12, so I just kept going a little bit, but yeah, they stopped around mile 8. So anyways, guys, that's the afternoon update. Gotta keep going, but so far so good. Handy. I have one of those at every campsite. That would be very nice. It's like, yeah, this whole area is just all campsites. But to us, we must keep going. Very wet and very muddy. So there was just enough rain to basically re-wet all of this mud. So yeah, my shoes are disgusting. My socks are wet. And we have about 0.4 to camp. I'm really hoping that it's free, because there's no more marked camping after that. And everything behind me is taken, so boy. I don't know what it is. The train's been really nice today, but my body is like, no ma'am, we got to sit down. Okay, made it to camp. Not a bad day for leaving town, so I'm gonna get set up and try to escape any more rain that's coming. Gorgeous. Right by my tent. This is the current state of the tent, and I don't ever eat in my tent, and it's really not a good idea, especially because we are in extreme grizzly country. But y'all, I wasn't hungry earlier when I stopped. Now it's pouring, not pouring rain, but it's doing this like incessant trickling rain that it hasn't really stopped. It let up for just a little bit for me to set up my tent, which I was really grateful for, but yeah, if I'm gonna eat, this is how it has to be tonight. So I'm just trying to be like really clean not make a mess, not get anything on anything smell-wise. So. Anyway, it's been a day, yeah. It's 7:40 now, and I did 17.5 miles, which is pretty good for a town day, like I said. I'm having instant mashed potatoes with tuna. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's like fish and potatoes. And then I am going to get cleaned up here in just a minute and journal and then head to bed because I'm going to try and get up pretty early because I need to do 23 tomorrow minimum. And on the forecast, when I looked before I left town, it's supposed to rain for like the next 3 days, so it's not going to be great for all my gear and stuff, like trying to keep it dried and dried out, because usually like it's okay if it rains at nighttime and then it's sunny the next day because you can dry everything out, but if you don't have a chance to dry stuff out, then everything's just moist, so, which is why I'll never do the AT. I hate rain. I know it's good for the environment, but I hate walking in it and then trying to be in it while you're, trying to stay clean and dry. But anyways, guys, welcome back. So, yeah, this is the start of the second to last section before we make it to Canada soon. So I'll catch you guys in the morning. Morning. It's day 114. Last night when I got to camp, I was able to set up my tent before the rain came back, which I'm really grateful for, but yeah, it continued to rain pretty much most of the night, and then I think it stopped like mid-morning, like 3 a.m. because I got to go to the bathroom and the moon was out, so everything is soaking wet this morning. Get to see the Chinese wall today in about 8 miles, and then in 12 miles I am going to take the spotted bear alternate, which some people say that they like it more because there's better views and there's lots of water, and it also cuts off 15 miles. My hip was really stiff this morning, so she's got to make it 200 more miles. So, I don't know. It's not something that's like excruciating and I can't walk, at least yet. It's just this annoyance all day long. I honestly feel like the Tin Man. It's like, and it just, there's like a lot of pressure in my hip, if that makes sense. So anyways, I'm going to get going because we have a straight up climb this morning, 1,600 feet or something to get to the top of whatever the top is. And hopefully there's some good views. I think this may be the start of the Chinese wall, but it says it was in 8 miles from camp, so I don't know. Is it an 8-mile long sheer rock face? Hence Chinese wall? I don't know. Also, the moon in Montana stays up so late. It's 8:40. It's crazy. And that climb was actually really nice. It was so gradual, and like it was 1,600 feet of climbing, but it was actually really nice switchbacks because the last few sections, whoever laid those trails, they did not care about switchbacks. It was straight up, straight down. So now we're going back down for a while. I'm basically just gonna keep walking until it warms up a little bit. The clouds are still way off in the distance, so hopefully it stays clear. Maybe around noon I'll stop and take like a longer break and let all my tent and stuff dry out. I literally have everything like clothes-wise attached to me. Well, what are you doing, little guy? Right across the road. Yeah, all of my clothes are just all over my pack, hoping they dry as I walk, but tent stuff is so heavy, it's making my bag feel really heavy, so hopefully we get a chance to try some of that stuff out here in a few hours. Okay, I'm 6 miles in for the day, and I just stopped with this awesome view to dry everything out because clouds are starting to form on the way we're walking, so just in case. I was being a little paranoid, but I was also getting hot in those rain pants, so I changed into my shorts while my pants are still drying, and yep, everything is dry, so hopefully the pack feels a little lighter. And we have another, I don't know, 6 miles until we get off the junction to the alternate that we're going to take. And then it'll be another 10 miles after that, so we have some miles to do today. Yeah, we'll see. We have 7 hours of hiking. Yeah, maybe be closer to 21 than 23 today, so we'll see. I'm stopping a little early for dinner, but can't really see them, but you can hear the thunder rumbling in the background. And there is a cool breeze coming from the west. I don't know how far I'm gonna make it today, guys. I mean, I'm not stopping right now, obviously, but walking in the rain really slows you down, and I've done 2,700 feet of gain already, and it's only 3 o'clock without even going 11 full miles, so lots of climbing today. Have a little bit more to go after lunch, and then it should be downhill for the rest of today, and then the beginning of tomorrow, and then there's a big climb over a pass tomorrow. I'm not sure after that, but for at least today, there's only a little bit more left, and then we'll be rocking and rolling downhill. So yeah, everything is dry now, so I've got it in my pack, and I have my rain gear ready to go if it does start sprinkling and stuff on me. So yeah, I just had to eat dinner in my tent last night, which I don't love, so I'm like, let me go ahead and eat while it's nice and can get everything cleaned up, and that way when I get to camp, all I'm worried about is setup and getting ready for bed. So and sometimes when I eat early, it'll give me a little bit of fuel and energy to really knock out miles the rest of the day, but I definitely don't think I'm going to make it another 13 miles, so we're aiming for 10. 20 is great, so we'll see. Here's a better view of what's about to cover up the sun. Oh boy. Thankfully we're going this way, so I'm going to get to hauling butt. Well, we made it down. There's definitely still clouds above us, but it's not thundering over here. And I'm now on the Spotted Bear alternate. This is 27.5 miles. Mainly chill, except for tomorrow's climb, like I mentioned. And because there was a fire in the area earlier this summer, the people weren't allowed to take this alternate, so it's a little bit more overgrown than probably the CDT. That's okay. Things are starting to kind of die now, so it's not too bad right now. But basically so there's mountains here and mountains there, and I think this is kind of a straight through shot, whereas the CDT goes around a lot of the mountains. So yeah, it saves about 15 miles. I think I mentioned that earlier. But the downside is that I'm in this stuff the whole time, so it's very humid in here, but that's okay. It saves us 15 miles, which, if everything goes okay, that means it should allow me to get into town on early Monday versus late Monday. So that is why we are doing this one. Y'all. Ooh, it is literally like walking through ankle-high trenches in here. This rain is a lot heavier than yesterday's rain, and somebody commented on this alternate like a week ago and was like, yeah, it's pretty overgrown but doable, would be horrible in the rain. This person was correct. It is most horrible in the rain. And I still have like another mile and a half, and it is just dark gray skies, which probably means it's not going to let up. So just taking a little rest under this huge pine tree because I'm about to try not to have a breakdown. Because you always think like, okay, if I stop early tonight, I'll get an early start tomorrow. But when all your stuff is wet and it's probably going to be raining like this through the night, like, it is very uninspiring and unmotivating to get up at 5 a.m. and be freezing cold and wet and having to try and lightly pack your gear so that all your disgusting wet stuff doesn't ruin everything that's dry, so. Montana, not loving it so far. Not loving it so far. Okay, gotta keep going. It's only like 5:15 or something, but yeah, it's slow going, so I'll probably get there close to 6, and then I really hope this lets up a little bit so I can set up my tent. I ever told you guys how much I love hiking in the rain? Today was way worse than yesterday. It was just like a heavier downpour, and of course all that brush, and the trail turned into a river. My breath. Oops, sorry, I think I fogged up the camera. Anyway, it's still raining. It was raining while I was setting up, but it wasn't as bad as earlier. But everything is wet, like except for I was really strategic about my sleeping pad and my this and my clothes. But my tent is wet, the floor is wet, the backpack is wet, all the clothes I had on wet, shoes are soaking, like. I just pray for sun in the morning, but it doesn't matter though, because I'm in a valley, so it's like none of this is going to really dry out. And of course I'm going to breathe in here all night, so it's going to be soaking in the morning, and I'm in this valley for the next, 20 plus miles. So yeah, lots of trees and stuff. I'm hoping maybe it opens up a little bit tomorrow so I can have a chance to dry things out like today, but I think this is going to be an everyday thing until next Tuesday, where it's nice in the morning and then afternoon thunderstorms and rainstorms. So oh guys, it just sucks because it's like I made it to this camp, but I think I like barely made 16 miles today, so it really ruins, I could have hiked if it was good weather another 3 hours, so another 6 miles. I don't know, we'll get there sometime, but this morning was beautiful, and I'm glad to have seen the Chinese wall when it was nice and sunny, but this is pretty shitty, so I'm gonna have a Snickers and a coffee, and I'm gonna call this video good, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. We'll still be making our way towards this glacier. See you later.